Hi, this is Dr. Ben Glassman from the Chiropractic and Physical Therapy Center. Thank you for watching our video. This is the second installment of our nutrition section. In the first video, we did an overview video talking about different tips and guidelines to help have a healthier time at home. And I really believe that guidelines are better than strict rules. So if you follow things that were on the last handout, I guarantee you're going to lose body fat and feel better. The first couple of tips were about in each meal you should have a protein source and a vegetable source. And if you just did those two things, you would see a lot of success in itself. But today we're going to talk about carbohydrates, specifically how carbohydrates affect your body, because it's a really important subject. Carbs are your body's first source of energy. And what your body does is it releases insulin. When you consume a carb, your pancreas releases insulin, and insulin's job is to grab those carbs and sugars as they're broken down and puts them in different places where the body needs them. And what happens with our health over time is when we have really sugary foods and unhealthy foods, it causes your insulin levels to keep spiking and becoming erratic, leading to weight gain, diabetic issues, and a lot of health problems. So having a healthy stream of carbs that are not high in sugar and are healthier, nutritious choices helps manage proper insulin levels. So there are charts that have been made called the Glycemic Index that I'm attaching to the bottom of this video. The Glycemic Index was created and it has basically every food listed on it of carbs, and it gives it a number. And high numbers are foods that trigger a high insulin response. So for example, if you have in the world of fruit is thought to be healthy, but some fruits are higher in sugar, like bananas and melon, and that will trigger a large insulin response. So it's given a very high number. Lower fruits like pears and apples have a less of a response of insulin and are a little bit better for the body to consume in terms of its insulin and sugar response. In other carbohydrate sections like pastries and cookies, confectionery goods, those also trigger a high insulin response versus your rice, brown rice, yams, sweet potatoes, beans. These are healthier carbs, but also have less sugar and less of a response of insulin that can cause problems over time. So the first rule of thumb is picking low glycemic foods. Usually under the number 40 or lower is ideal. But one thing that not everyone talks about, a very powerful way to eat and to think about, is pairing your carbohydrates with other foods. You see, proteins, vegetables, specifically especially green vegetables that are low in calories, are low in sugar and high in nutrients, and your fats, your healthy fats. For example, proteins, lean meat, eggs. Healthy fats can be nuts and seeds and avocados, and your vegetables could be spinach, kale, collard greens, mustard greens, you name it. And those foods, because they don't really have a high glycemic index, even a number because they're not carbs, when you consume them with the carbs, your body breaks the carbs down in the food slower during the meal. And that breakdown causes your body to not release large levels of insulin. So you control the release of insulin by pairing your carbs with something else. So for a snack, instead of grabbing just an apple, which seems to be a healthy choice, take that apple, put some almond butter on it. Healthy fat, lowest glycemic index. For the morning, instead of just oatmeal and especially like bananas and fruit in there, which a lot of people do, that's sugar on top of sugar. Instead, have the oatmeal with a couple of eggs. That will reduce the body's effect on insulin and you won't gain fat as susceptibility wise. Other than that, you do want to have your carbs in the morning and taper them out throughout the day. In the handout we gave last video, which I would love you to watch again, it talks about having less throughout the day, ideally cutting the carbohydrates out during the afternoon. You don't have to stop eating in the evening, but you do want to stop consuming the carbohydrates and stick to vegetables, proteins, and fats in the evening. That's my tip for today. Come back and watch the other videos, and we'd love you to learn more. In our next video, we're going to talk about gluten and certain food choices that also wreaks havoc on the body and the brain. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.